Oh, he is ready? Oh, I thought he was going to give me the thumbs up. Okay. He always does. We'll call the IMU Board of Trustees of the Electric, Water, and Communication Utilities to order. Chelsea, roll call.
Selgrave.
Present.
White.
Present.
Smith.
Yes.
Rosga.
Yes.
Voigt.
Yes.
Okay. Public comment, anyone wishing to speak? Would you come to the podium? Seeing none. I need a first and second motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, and then we'll go item by item if you have any discussion or have any questions. Pay app number 1 for classification and compensation and benefits study.
So Chris, have we gotten started with this work, or this is just a pay ahead kind of scenario? If we've started, how's it going?
Yeah, they've done a lot of the initial work, kind of reached out to the other comparables or developed that and reached out to those. We up through that research, and they had their initial kind of kickoff meeting with our employees to let them know, part of the process is a job questionnaire that they use to evaluate, and they met with everyone to explain that. Next week, I think the employees will do that and submit them, and we'll start that in earnest. So
can you share the pool of comparables yet?
I don't know. I don't know that that's been developed. I know, Chris, we had about 30. Do you remember?
Yeah, we
who
do
it
have a
was?
list. I mean, I can share this with you at some point if you'd like.
That'd be interesting to see. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because that's important.
Right.
Anybody else? Anything on that? Approval of claims. Questions on that?
I had one question. Adam's cable equipment for $37,953. There wasn't a description in the notes for what that was for.
Yeah, it probably dropped off handles for the new notebook 7 project.
Okay. Approval of minutes of the prior meetings. Anyone? Okay. Approval of the July financial report. Doug?
After a year, I'm getting trained. The report is just for the month of July, so it's the first month of the 24-25 year, and I think Chris did a good job of kind of explaining a few exceptions, and one would be the risk insurance premiums were all paid apparently in July, and you're a modified cash basis, so those are expensed in July. Normally you would amortize those over a 12-month period, so that causes an exception to some of the O&M expenses. And then the turbine, number 8, I think that's been a huge number, over $1.2 million or whatever it happens to be, so that wouldn't have all gone into July, of course, and then it's kind of an interesting one where the income for the fiber was a deficit balance, the other income, and apparently that comes about because we apparently retired some, my terminology would be boxes or whatever you all call them, but yeah, they're 5 years old or whatever and have no more life, so we were forced to write them off. And it's probably something maybe I talked to Chris about, maybe the life maybe was a little longer because we had a loss. We got no revenues, but we had a loss from them, and so it probably meant that we had them on our records for something more than, say, 5 years or just something we ought to look at because apparently they don't last.
No, they're 5-year equipment, 5-year depreciation, and a lot of these are where we get into loss situations. If they get damaged out in the field, these are at customers' homes. They get something spilled on and need to be replaced. They get wrote off at that point, and
So they do.
that's where you get into a loss position. But the actual age is probably appropriate. But these are the kind of the exceptions to the ones that didn't make it through. Not necessarily aging out, but other acts and damage that cause those problems.
Anyway, no other comments at this point. Like I said, it's just the first month, so time shall tell.
You mentioned this, Doug, but the electric O&M expenses are running like 600,000 more than a year ago. Is that all turbine 8 or what's causing that?
I think most of it is, yeah. We amended the 24 budget by 800,000, and I think all but 125,000 of that was used up. So that 125 will eventually, if we need to amend, which we may, I think right now in the month of July or this fiscal year, I want to say it was like right around 500,000 that landed in fiscal year 25 for the turbine. So that is the majority of that, yes.
And apparently, Adam, it doesn't extend the life of the turbine because we're expensing it.
Okay.
Probably if I were a public health company, I'd write that off for a period of time.
We're hoping to get reimbursed for a significant portion of it.
Gotcha.
I'm sure we'll
Thank
have
you,
some
Doug.
positive updates later in the meeting.
Okay, we'll move on then to E, approval of payment application 10 to Petra Tech Incorporated for the Turbine 8 control replacement project. Questions, or do you want to add anything to it, Mike? Okay. Chelsea, roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Rozga,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Belgrade.
Yes.
Last but not least.
Okay. We'll move on now to the electric utility action items. Let's see, first of all, Downton Underground Conversion Project, West Alley premise wiring modification. I need a first and second motion to enter into public hearing regarding the downtown underground conversion project, West Alley premise wiring modification.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Anyone have any comments or questions? Pardon me? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, Chelsea?
Smith,
Yes.
Rozga,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Belgrade,
Yes.
White.
Yes. Okay, now, discussion or public comment. Okay, seeing none, I need a first and second motion to exit the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Chelsea?
Rozga,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Belgrade,
Yep.
White,
Yes.
Smith,
Okay. Next, I need a first and second motion to consider a resolution approving the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the downtown underground conversion project, West Alley premise wiring modification.
So,
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Can we make these longer?
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm doing the best I can.
Well, I meant the paper.
I know. I'm trying to read fast.
There's a lot there. Holy smokes.
Okay, no questions or anything? Chelsea?
I don't even know what to ask.
Boyd,
Yes.
Belgrade,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Smith,
yes.
Rozga.
Yes.
Okay. Next, first and second motion to consider a resolution awarding contract to Downtown Underground Conversion Project, West Alley premise wiring modification.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and there has been an update to the resolution to correct an error. The bid of Miller Electric in the amount of $95,250 is the correct contract total. Discussion.
Yeah, I thought we had some good bids. The original had that 157.5 was the engineer's estimate that was put in there. So definitely underneath the engineer's estimate, underneath this, but like I say, we just got done with Miller doing the south side of the square. It went really well. I have no concerns. And I spoke with him as well. He can get the good.
Good. They know what they're getting into, so.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Chelsea.
Motion?
Oh. I make a motion that we approve, sorry, resolution.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Selgrade,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Rosca,
Yes.
Voigt.
Yes.
Okay, next, need a first and second motion to consider resolution setting a public hearing and bid letting for the 69 kV line relay replacement project.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Discussion.
Yep, so this is the 69 kV project we talked about. I do have Jerry Klein here, our engineer, that helped us design the relays. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer any of those questions on the project. This will involve both our East Iowa substation and our west side substation relays there. We're just updating, they're out of date. One thing that we're going to do with this is we're going to have, working with Kurt, we're going to have fiber between the two, so those relays will talk on dark fiber in between, make things quicker.
So what's the life cycle of this when you say they're out of life?
Yeah.
These are from the two line terminals at East Iowa are from the early 1990s. The set at West Side went in with the substation in about 2006.
2005, 2006.
Yeah, 2005, 2006. The East Iowa, we expect about 25-year life. The ones in East Iowa are well past that. The West Side relays are coming up on that, so it's those are probably a little bit early, but given that we're replacing the opposite end of the line, it makes sense to go ahead and do those now.
Is this the one where we had issues and we couldn't get the parts as
No,
well?
this
or
is,
this
we're
different?
still waiting on those parts to come in. That's the circuit switchers and the disconnects. They're still on order. And then that'll be another contract for having somebody come in and do that work once we get closer to getting those.
Okay.
So other than installing some fiber for communication purposes, we're really just upgrading what's there. We're not,
Correct. Yeah, correct.
it's not going to do a whole lot for us other than give us life.
Yeah, it'll extend it, and then it'll give us some more reliability. I would say it'll be easier for us if there's an event that happens on there. We'll be able to extract that information out. If we need to send that information to Mid-American or send it to, P&E to evaluate what event happened.
Okay. Chelsea, roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Rosca,
Yes.
Voigt,
Yes.
Selgrade.
Yep.
All right. Electric utility informational items.
Yeah, we'll start off with turbinate, since we've already talked a little bit about tonight. There's not a whole lot to report other than we're still waiting on a timeline on some parts. Although we did the nozzles, water nozzles, we got all those back and put back together. We did do that all internally with staff, so yeah, they did a really good job. I know we spent a lot of money on that, but I think we had an estimated cost of, what was it, $85,000 for them to fix that, and we did that internally, and I think we're going to have, minus labor, we're going to probably have $5,000 in material wrapped into it. So they did a really nice job, knowing we may have to do that later on down the road, so. And then,
Like I know that Chris had sent out some email on that, but refresh my memory, what specifically are we waiting for? When do
Yep.
we expect it? When will it be, assuming that takes care of things?
Yeah.
When should we be?
Yeah,
Good.
I would say we got a water flow meter that we had to send off, and that had to go to Mexico. Well, that's where it says it's going, to Mexico, we hope it comes back. But, we didn't realize that where it was like, it's gotta get, so it does make you a little nervous, because it's gotta get back through customs. But, so anyway, yeah, we got the water flow meter, and that was about a 5 to 6 week deal. And then we got some solenoid valves that we wouldn't have to do that testing. They're 6 to 8 weeks out for those. So yeah, we're probably in that 6 to 8 weeks still before we can get it. Once we get it, then we can install all that stuff and move forward. Then we'll have to schedule doing the emissions testing and have that all ready to go again. And then once we prove that, then we'll schedule it with the DNR to come and do the retest.
And it's those things that we need to pass the emissions.
Yep, so it'll help us as far as with the water flow issues that we're having. They'll calibrate this meter and they'll get it it'll get in a closer range, and we'll make some changes within the new program that Tech will do. I think a lot of it was these nozzles. They were plugged up. None of us knew. We just through everything. We were having troubles with the controls that we replaced on it. We thought the controls weren't working right, like we had a few other issues, so that's where the issue was. But we find out we got a few mechanical issues that we need to work on. And on top of that, the water flow deal was we used to turn the water on for the emissions at 14 megawatts. Now we're asking that to be done at 6 megawatts. So you drop that down, that changes your water fuel ratio quite a bit. And the meter literally wasn't designed to do that when it was really originally put in 2000.
Are there any issues with either Mean or DNR in our getting this stuff done and taking longer than we
Yeah, we've
anticipated?
been in communication with Maine, trying to keep them up to speed on what we got going.
Because we're another 3 months.
Yeah, for sure. We're hopefully closer to that 2 months, but we'll see I know you know how this goes. So yeah, we've been keeping up with that. We're working also with Trinity, is our consultant on the Title V, to be helping us as far as working with the DNR through that process with the emissions. I think we're supposed to meet with them sometime this week, hopefully later on.
Okay.
Besides that, the Downtown Square project, this is kind of the wrap-up with the Miller deal. We're kind of finishing up, getting some things energized, some of the ones that we can convert over, waiting on a couple of connectors to come in. We'll convert some more over, so that'll be the rest of this week and probably into next. Then we'll be moving to the northwest corner of the square yet this fall, hopefully. But besides that, we have tons of construction projects, developments, and stuff's all hitting. Everybody's afraid of snow coming and cold weather, so everybody's wanting to go now.
Okay. All right. On to water utility informational items.
Yeah, I don't have anything new really. We still continue to work with construction projects and contractors. I can't remember if it was the last meeting or in our update. We were down to 2 high service pumps. The new one got installed last week, so now we are back to all 3 high service pumps. This week we have a hydrant to fix that's leaking. We will take care of that on Thursday. Get that taken care of, and then we'll be back to all hydrants working. Unfortunately, we've had a few main breaks, so we'll be working on restoration on those to get either concrete poured back or dirt work done. And then been working with the engineer on the backup generator. Sounds like we should be bringing that to the next meeting. I think getting finalized on that. Downside to that is the generator is about 40 weeks out, so it'll be a long process, but at least we'll get everything rolling on our end and then wait for the generator to get here. So.
And that's for what?
For a backup generator at the water plant.
Oh.
So do they have to build the generator, or what takes so long for it to build?
I'm assuming just parts and
So they are building into our spec.
Yes, yep, and the engineering has all that, and, yeah, I think it's just,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not an off-the-shelf product. It's kind of built to, at this size, it's kind of built to suit.
And we already have a contractor that's gonna install.
so we'll bring it to the next meeting to have, set the public hearing and then go out to bid, so it'll be, so that's all I got.
So there was an email, or a couple emails, and you had some correspondence with Steve Richardson as far as that outage out there. Is there something that we think we need to do to maybe improve communications, or did anything come out of that?
Well, I sent him, I talked to Justin after I got the email, and I went through step by step what went down, and he seemed okay, but
Well, I guess the bigger question is, how do we feel about it? And I think
Could we do something different next time?
Yeah, I think there were some valid points that were raised. I mean, particularly there are folks that are not Facebook folks and maybe IT savvy, internet savvy people. And
well, I talked to Alicia, and she didn't have any phone calls, complaints.
Okay,
The really complaint I had was from
Okay.
Steve,
All right.
so,
yeah, if we didn't receive any residents or anybody phone calls, then that'd be, all right.
And then, Chris, you said you did some calls to other utilities out there to find out what their typical process is, and it's just,
Yeah, and it mirrors ours. You know, they post warnings or notifications for planned outages, but
Right.
emergency work. You know, given that it seems like most of the time, you know, when a water main breaks, it's breaking at 2 a.m. You know, nobody knocks on doors specifically on that. This would have been probably the exception to that, but when they happen, the bulk of them happen. Nobody goes much further than that because, you know, they're going to be well underway before anybody wakes up and maybe even knows that it was out.
well, and they waited 2 hours before. They lowered the pressure so that people could get,
Yeah, they didn't start till 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people
and
were
then it was only,
away.
at work or what have you.
and then it was just a couple hours, and it was back up again.
Yeah, and I actually did some research on my end too, and one that I found was West Des Moines Waterworks. And I don't know if it's something that we could add to our website, that this is our procedure during the water main break, and then maybe put it out on our flyer once a year, or a couple times a year, just to give people heads up. But yeah, it basically says to, during a water main break, their main focus is just to fix the leak, and then, so you may not get notified.
Yeah.
I do think that is a good point, though, what our procedure is. It doesn't hurt to share that with people, to say, you know, our job is, number one, to get it back online.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it brought up during the main break that, you know, you might not get notified, and then what steps to take after the main break with running your faucet or stuff like that. So I think it's something good that we could add to our website, and then, like I said, put it on the flyer once or twice a year.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. On to communications utility action items. I need a first and second motion to consider approval of IMU network management policy.
So move.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, this is just something we're needing to put in place because of the new FCC broadband label mandate. The broadband labels require us to have a link out on the website to the network management policy. While we had an informal one out there before, this one kind of lines up more with what we're looking for. So, and it's just before you because we have never approved this before.
And is it similar to others that have?
Yeah, very similar, and it's no different than what we've been doing all along. It's just we put it down in more of a formal written sheet.
Okay. Chelsea?
Smith,
Yes.
Rosga,
Yes.
Voigt,
Yes.
Selgrave,
Yep.
White.
Yes. Okay, communications, utility informational items, Kurt.
Yep, and bids are due tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the final phases of the NOFA 7 project, so we'll bring those results to you first meeting in October. I got 3 bids in already, and I'm expecting 2 or 3 more, so I think we're gonna get a good response, so it's good. Was up at the fiber broadband conference here a week or so ago. News there was that they're still waiting for the approval of the Iowa BEAD program. Everybody says the sign-off should be soon, but Iowa is gonna be one of the last ones to get approved. Concern up there at the fiber conference, obviously there are fiber folks up there, was that there was gonna be a shift to allow more participation from fixed wireless companies once this actually gets approved, but until we see it and see what the rules are, it will be hard to tell, but anyway, that's kind of what the feeling was up there while I was there, so.
Why is Iowa the last?
It's just taken them a long time to get approved, so, yeah, all the states have to get approved by the federal government, and I don't know, it's just taken Iowa a little bit longer, so. Yeah. FCC broadband labels we just mentioned are almost complete. We're going through the final checks today, and hopefully they'll have things wrapped up by the end of the week. As with all FCC mandates, there's a lot of hours put into standing these things up. I did a quick little calculation today. I think we put in 80 hours trying to get all this put together. So the FCC always loves to give rules, but doesn't realize how long sometimes these things take. We're in the process of tearing down the existing engineer's office, currently scheduled for October 21st to put in the new walls and stuff there, so making progress on that. And otherwise, we're just busy with installs, locates, and site surveys.
Roll call, please.
Rosca,
Yes.
Voight,
Yes.
Selgrave,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay. I need a first and second motion to consider approval of utility accounts to be written off and to use any customary collection method, including submission to the state.
I don't think I got the motions on the combined electric for the approval of the updated privacy policy.
Yeah, it was, Roscoe one. Smith
Yeah, I
two.
thought I did.
Nope, those are network management.
That was
Okay,
the
so-
network
We got
management.
2 separate resolutions on these.
Oh, you gotta do number 9.
So moved.
Second.
Love that. One, so great. 2. Okay. So this is for the approval of the updated Iowa privacy policy.
I flipped my page too soon.
That's all right.
Discussion.
Yeah, same thing. This is just an update for the FCC broadband label mandate. We've added a little bit, changed a little bit on the communication side to clean some stuff up, but otherwise that's the same as our privacy policy before. So, and this was reviewed by legal, so we're happy with it.
Okay, good, thanks. Already got the, already voted it
Do we have to
in.
vote? All right.
So, okay, I need a first and second motion to consider approval of utility accounts to be written off and to use any customary collection method, including submission to the state offset program, and to charge any applicable collection fees.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Okay. Chelsea?
White,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Rosca,
Yes.
Voight,
Yes.
Selgrave.
Yes.
Okay.
One question. So when we do receive some reimbursement on some of these, where do we see it from a budget perspective? Is there a special line item or anything, or does it just get thrown into the mess?
Or do we see that often? Do we get reimbursed very often?
That'd be,
We do have pretty good collection turnover. The auditors are always impressed with that. You probably don't see tons of numbers. They get kind of buried in the expenses. The write-offs are net, or our write-off expense is net of any collections. So where you're seeing it is that expense wouldn't be as big as it otherwise would have been, that, that it's down to, we write off.
So you don't have a certain line item that says this is a refund or this is reimbursement?
Yeah, we
It just
we
gets
don't
back
do
into
it,
the-
we don't do it, individually. The write-off balances are kind of they're classified in the expense areas, but they could be a net, income. But, in history, the expenses leave them a little bit at least, and so it ends up being a smaller expense.
That's how I see it. That's pretty
Okay. Chelsea?
Yeah, we already voted.
Yeah.
Oh,
I asked a question after the
I
vote, I'm
haven't-
sorry. I probably missed you.
I am so out of practice, I guess. I don't know.
We do it twice next month.
Okay,
10.
10. Yes, I was just ready to go.
It's 10.
Oh, she's got a different.
What?
Number 10 for you.
What is it for you?
It's 12 for them.
Oh, combined electric, water, and communication informational items.
Mike covered the turbine. Yeah, I mean, long story short, we still got a few weeks waiting on parts. As for our insurance company update, they have been reaching out, asking questions. They're in the process of looking at all the receipts that they're kind of asking detailed questions about what is this expense. So while they haven't, it's not good news yet. I don't think they'd go through this effort if they were going to say no immediately. So I'm taking all these questions as positive work towards our desired outcome. Our property purchase is still underway. Mike and I met with the owner's reps, and they have some questions or they want some information prior to signing off on the purchase agreement. Carrie's still working with them, kind of pressuring them, but they have another project that they want to wrap into this agreement.
That affects us or does not affect us?
I think they want it to affect us.
Okay. What does that mean? Are you able to say?
No.
Okay,
no,
then don't.
I can go into more detail,
All right.
but individually, but since we don't have a signed agreement, I don't want to describe the who's and what's here.
I understand.
But making progress. Last week, I sat down for an interview with Aaron Young from the city, and there's a Indie Unplugged podcast. I talked a little bit about IMU and our solar project. I also met with Rotary, and they had some questions regarding our solar project and the status of IMU. So that was a great time, and that was the first kind of public outing to talk about the solar project, and I was surprised, frankly, how much everyone knew, and they had good questions, and far more excitement about the project than I had anticipated. So it was a good time talking with all of those folks. Simpson's got a career day in early October. We'll be participating. All the IMU staff is excited because CIP work has begun for next year's budget. So everyone's anxiously awaiting all the budget work that comes with that. I think announcement for Doug. Doug had a lot of work and a lot of hours he put in converting all of our departments into operationally into Microsoft project, and this will give us a good a good way to share with the city our resource availabilities, what crews are working on what and what projects. So as they try to anticipate any changes that they're going to make, they know more about what our crews are busy with and when there's potential.
Does the city also use Microsoft Project then?
They were going to. I don't know if there's their implementation, where exactly they are at in it, but I think we're further along than they are at this point.
Okay.
I am going to be gone on vacation from October 7th through the 11th. And I got mean on November 13th and 14th. And just wanted to take the last opportunity to invite the public to our Wednesday, September 25th at 10 a.m. groundbreaking for our solar project. It will be the beginning of the construction phase, and I think everyone here knows how much work that was to get to this point. Construction's happening, and there is a lot of enthusiasm in the public about it. So, we welcome anybody that wants to join to come out there and be a part of that excitement.
And they've got to take a roundabout way to get there, right?
Yep, yep. The asterisk to that one is K Street will be closed. We've got on our Facebook page a map, a suggested route to get there. And it's ultimately is taking our street and winding through some of the neighborhoods there to come out on 14th. The section from 14th Street through the water plant will be open that day. So there will be still some changes in heights and stuff, so everyone should take it slowly, but you will be able to drive up to our facility, and everything will be open for the ins and outs there, but we'll just have to take an alternate route.
The gravel road south of the water plant, that's open too, that goes all the way
Yeah, 17th.
The highway, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
17th is.
So that you can take that from 65 over?
Will that from south be open?
Yes, yeah, you can still come up the gravel.
And then turn up.
Yep, 70,
Your
go by
way,
the dog
yeah.
park and then head north
Yeah.
or go through our street and 14th.
Okay.
Did we have, had sent you a text about the city doing that collection?
Yeah, and the name escapes me right now, but it's a community-to-community collection project, and if anybody wants to drop off any of those city project, city community-to-community donation project, that'll be available in our office. We'll
Yeah,
accept
I just
those
thought
items there
From a
too.
collection perspective, our office is probably pretty higher traffic standpoint than a lot of the other places, so, and it's a way for us to work with and support the city a little bit also too. So.
Yep, we're out there, and they've already updated their,
Good,
I
good.
think right as soon as I spoke with you, I checked the website, and they've already
Good.
added us to all those lists, so.
That it then, Chris?
Yep, that's all I have, so.
Okay. Other business? Anybody? Okay, then we need a first and second motion to enter into closed session in accordance with Iowa Code Section 388.91 to discuss marketing and pricing strategies and proprietary information of the Telecommunications Division, whose competitive position will be harmed by public disclosure that is not required of potential or actual competitors, and no public purpose is served by such disclosure. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Chelsea?
Rosga,
Yes.
Voigt,
Yes.
Selgrave,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Thanks, everybody.